You know, they say if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
Nothing nice to say, but Aldo NICE.
I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing nice to say. I ain't got nothing nice to say at all. I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing nice to say. I ain't got nothing nice to say at all.
So I won't say nothing at all.
Whoa, welcome to the Best Friend Weekend podcast. It's your man Aldo NICE, and this is another one of the series of Nothing Nice to Say interviews. I appreciate you guys coming. Today, I got one of my homeboys, somebody who's very interesting and influential in the entertainment industry on the pod today. So I'm gonna let my man introduce himself.
What's up, people? My name Dominic Young out of Washington, D.C.
And Dominique is the or is Dominic. Do
Dominic.
you feel a way about that?
Man, yeah, man. That QUE just don't rock with me. That's real girly. It's with a C, not a QUE. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
36 years in, bro. People still can't get that shit right, bro.
I mean, you know, Dominique Wilkins was like the most influential Dominique ever. So I mean, I feel like, you know, you might have wanted to been like him, but Dominic,
yeah,
that'll work. I almost didn't have you on the podcast today because I pulled up your social media account, Loyal Bros, and what I noticed was you got 999 followers, and I don't really rock with people less than 1,000.
Listen. All my followers is authentic. So you know what I noticed, Joe? I post something, and my followers would go up like an extra 10, 15 in like 24 hours, and I wake up the next day and them Jones be done dropped again. So that's where the authenticity.
That's the ghost followers. You need the real ones, huh?
I don't rock with the fake joint. I like authenticity, man. So if you rock with me, you rock with me, and if you don't, you don't. You know.
That's a precarious position to be in at 999 followers, though. I mean, you know.
Hey, listen.
I'll buy one. I'd buy one. I'll buy one for you.
Hey, go ahead with how much you putting down, bro. Come on, John.
I'll buy you one to get you over the hump, man. But nah, it is what it is. Man, look, so I said something about you being influential in different things. Let's start right there, man. Tell us about Loyal Bros, man, the Loyal Brothers, man, and your company. Describe it for me, your film and media production firm. Let us know a little bit of something about it.
Man. All right. So, I mean, Loyal Brothers Company was a vision that I had back in 2004, bruh. And the vision came. I was in Israel in May of 2004 visiting my wife. She's from Israel. Okay. And so we was up there.
Oh, you foreign.
Man, you know me. I like to test the waters. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, nah, I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
But you know, I was out in Israel, bruh, and then I just had this little idea for a movie while I was out there. Not to get biblical or spiritual, but you know what I'm saying? I just had this idea about, I think Troy was probably, one of the movies was out back then when I was in Israel, and I was like, damn, bruh, they don't make no black movies on the Braveheart level, the Troy level, the any of them joints you could think of, even like now, like the Spartacus and all them joints. They don't make nothing for black people on that level. And I had the idea to write a story. And so I came back home and I wrote a book that I never even put it out. I just wrote this book called Age of the Brothers. And so I was visioning it. The concept is like Shaka Zulu meets 300. And so I wrote the book. And from there, I was like, yo, I want to turn the book into a screenplay. And so I did that. And then from there, I just started writing like wholeheartedly full time. And I've been sitting on that book and script because one, I honestly, I never felt like society was ready for the concept. So that's one of the main reasons why I never put it out. But then I was like, it's going to take me a budget of like $200,000 or something to really make this joint. So let me just sit on it until I got my weight up and ready, you know what I'm saying, to really put that joint out. But nevertheless, since then, once I had that idea, I just started rocking all the way through with my writing career. And that's where Loyal Brothers got the jump. If you want to know where the name came from is, I'm the oldest of 9. You know what I'm saying? I got 5 younger brothers and 3 sisters. And so my whole idea was that I want to build something that I could rock with my brothers on. You know what I'm saying? I could bring them in, guide them, and they could learn some business. We could just create a full circle entity where we doing different, avenues of creating money, construction, restaurants, whatever they want to do, along with what I wanted to do. But it was about being loyal. You know what I'm saying? So.
I noticed that a lot with black business, that it seems like we want to connect a lot of different things and kind of help everybody to eat. And I think that's that sense of community, that sense of blackness that we just all kind of inherently have, that we want to bring the next man up.
Right.
I mean, certain people have a crab in a barrel mentality, but I feel like for the most part, as a people, we do a good job of trying to reach back.
Yeah,
and
trying.
bring your brother along. You know what I mean?
Bro.
So who would you say are all members of Loyal Brothers?
Man, right now, honestly, to be honest, it's me and my sons.
Okay.
Because even though I tried to do something for my brothers, not everybody got the work ethic that you got. And you know what I'm saying? It's not even always about the vision, because not everybody's going to be a boss. There's always going to be a few bosses, but most people, for the most part, going to be workers.
Gotcha.
And you still, if you're going to be a worker, you still got to have work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And in creating Loyal Brothers, I found that they just didn't have the work ethic or what it was going to take to pull a weight and being a part of this. So now that I got 3 sons of my own, I got them on set with me. You probably saw a couple of photos on the gram and them holding the reflectors and helping to set up. This is me now building that legacy, because now Loyal Brothers has changed from me just trying to get some money or creating stories to me building a legacy. And I got my sons on set learning work ethic and learning what it's going to take to inherit something that's valuable. You feel me?
Well, I was definitely going to touch on that. I see that you always use the hashtag Young Dynasty. And I see it mostly when you're doing things with your sons. So, right. I mean, is that kind of the thought pattern behind that?
That is definitely the thought pattern behind that, You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Having something good for the next generation. I'm all about that.
Absolutely.
So, I'm in doing some research and reading up on you guys online. I mean, I want you to expound a little bit more upon what kind of film and media production things you've done. But it talks about y'all practices the creative development of ideas and concepts that stand out from the medium of today's video content and production. How do you think the work you do stands out?
I think the biggest thing for me of what makes me stand out is the fact that one, just to give you a little bit of background how I even got into the video side of things, because first of all, I came in the game.
You were talking about writing, but you're doing videos through video production as well.
So I came in the game, I started out writing scripts. And one day I just created my little Twitter and then back in 2010, it was this director, shout out to Alex Nazari out of LA. He just saw my bio on Twitter. And he just DM'd me and was like, yo, I see you're a writer. You ever did some videos? I was like, nah, but I tried, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so with that being said, he sent me a couple of songs and I started writing treatments to it.
Gotcha.
Now, because I come from the movie side of things, I was writing storylines to these songs. You know what I'm saying? That the average music video right now is only focused on 3 elements. Money, women, and cars.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You could throw drugs in there, but at the end of the day, drugs isn't what they're trying to
promote. I like guns in my videos, but that's what I mean. Blah, blah. That's what I'm about.
So you look at almost all videos, it's the same thing. Money, women
and cars. Gotcha.
For me, I'm coming from writing storylines, so I'm going to write a story for every single song that come across my table. I win some, I lose some. It depends on what the label execs, want to put out there for their artists at that time.
So you'll be turning in different treatments, and they could either pick it up or they not.
They gonna pick it up or they not.
Okay, that's what's up.
And so what you gotta understand, which most people don't know, you got independent artists and you got major label artists. And when you're dealing with major label artists, 9 times out of 10, you're not dealing with the artist. You're dealing with the label. Gotcha. Atlantic Records, Warner, Columbia, whoever they're signed to, they have video commissioners. And they're the ones who's going to review whatever treatments are sent in. So treatments are kind of like a bidding war. Everybody gets the song.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you that. Do you have to send in like a estimate? Like, I mean, Or is it a flat fee that they would pay anyone for the same treatment? Or is it like you sending your treatment with a number like this how much it would cost for mine?
Nah, so what they do is when they send out the song, they tell you what the budget is for this video.
Got you.
And it's your job to come up with a concept that's going to fit within that budget.
Got you.
Whatever you come up with, you better be able to make it happen within this budget. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so,
that makes sense.
So with that being said, that's where the process starts. Now, it's also still a game where sometimes there's certain directors that you see names pop up all the time. They've built a relationship with that video commissioner. And so no matter how many treatments they get, they already know which director they're going to go with anyway. So
so you're working with the director and you give the treatment to your director and then y'all kind of a team together doing it.
Absolutely.
The Alex Nassari guy, is that the same? Without Alex Acosta, that's the same guy?
No, that's two. So it's two different
dudes. Okay.
Coincidentally, Alex Nassari out of LA is Armenian. He's just a random guy. Met boom. He hit me.
He's not random. He seen fam right now,
bro. Well, he definitely fam because he put me on. You know what I'm saying? All my first 5, 6, 7 videos came through him. The 2 Chainz, the Ray J's, the Travis Porter's, all
you wrote the script for I'm Riding Around and I'm Getting It?
Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, man. That's my gent. Yo,
my
that's
girl ain't got no stomach?
yeah, my girl ain't got no stomach. Hey, listen.
Okay.
Yo, that was my, like, the biggest hit at the time for me.
That's how you get it? Hell yeah.
Bro, so with that being said, now you got the side where you're dealing directly with the artist. Most 9 times out of 10, those are street dudes. You know what I'm saying? Or they got street money. They got their own bread and they pop.
That's the indie cats.
That's the indie game. So with that, it's a much more easier bid. You're not even really competing at that point. You just got to, you give them the number. You got to sell them on your concept though. You know what I'm saying? And even with that, you might have noticed with some of my treatments and stuff, there's always a storyline. A lot of the videos I put out is always pretty much a storyline.
Can I call bullshit? Because I did watch some of those videos.
Which one?
Some of the girls just standing in a circle.
Which one, yeah? Which one?
The last one you did. The dude with the chain. I mean, with the watch. He light skinned cat with the beard.
You know what? I ain't
Stop it, man. It was about 2.5 minutes of flossing in a circle.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you. What's the
What's his name?
Though.
Shout out, man.
Bobby OG Mac.
Okay, Mac. There you go.
All right, so you gotta understand that the only difference with that is sometimes the budget ain't always there to deliver a storyline. So we got to give you some quote unquote abstract. We just going to change up the light. We're going to throw a prop here. We're going to switch the chick 1 2 1 2, and then we going to keep it moving.
Same chick. We're going to use the same chick 3 times. We just going to change her hair and clothes.
Hey, listen, and those are joints you just doing for the check. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got you. I mean,
you know.
But you're still giving them a quality product. Those videos still are on par with any other videos that are out there, and the lighting, the effects is
just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that.
So I can't talk down on it. So who's the Alex Acosta dude? He's not the guy from LA.
Nah. So Alex Acosta is my right hand man, partner, Ace Boon Coon, last 5 years. Okay. He lives here down in DC, but he's out of Bronx. He out of the Bronx, New York, born and raised. So he a New York nigga to the heart, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta deal with that New York attitude, you know what I'm saying? But that's my man. So we linked up a couple years back, video. Well, of course, you know what I'm saying? Let me do a little bit rewind. Directors don't like to write. So that's why I'm always in demand.
So explains to the person out there who knows nothing about the game. And when you see something and like you'll see a video or you'll see a movie and it says executive producer, it says director, it says written by. Yeah, these are all different things, right?
Right.
So is producer kind of encompasses all of that?
Producer is kind of like project manager.
Gotcha.
Their job is to make sure everything gets put together in the way it was written, make sure we stay on budget, locations, schedules, project manager. Okay. That's all a producer really is.
So how about director?
So the director is the guy who's on set and he's telling everybody what he wants, from the cameraman to the lighting guy to the model in front of the camera to the artist. It's his job, even though he read the treatment and he see it, it's his job to say yay or nay, this lighting ain't working, this is, let's rock out with it, let's rock with this. Director is always going to be in the limelight, they're always going to get the biggest amount of credit, And, you know, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
That's the Ryan Coogler's of the world.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
when I think director, I think like somebody sitting on a little high chair with the chair moving and they holding the camera and they pointing and doing stuff. I'm sorry. They standing behind that guy, pointing and saying, no, get the camera. I need the angle right. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's supposedly what they supposed to do. But you know what I'm saying? Directors on some levels get a little too much credit, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Spoken like a true writer.
But no, I'm going to say that for 2 examples. Creed 2.
I didn't
just
watch it
came
yet.
out.
Don't do
you
it.
ain't seen it yet. All right.
But
I'm going to even say Ryan Coogler. I'm going to even give you Ryan Coogler. Black Panther. That was my man's third film. And I rock with Ryan Coogler. I rock with all his movies.
It was his third film. Right?
He get $200 million on his third film. He's never done green screen on this level, bruh. He's never had that deal with the pressure on this level. How did he achieve so much success so quickly on the third film? It's the team around him.
Well, but you said like if you're picking a good team,
you gotta have a good team, and that's what makes it dope. You know what I'm saying? But see, it also rocks out with the whole Tracy Morgan situation where he had the Tiffany Haddish beef a couple months back, and they was mad at him talking about he was shitting on Tiffany Haddish. She was like, "Nah, you got to give credit to the whole team. You can't just point out one person." You know what I mean?
Enough.
But that's how it is. I don't care. I don't like the spotlight. That's me personally. I like being behind the scenes. I don't want niggas knowing my face. I don't want you to see who I am. You know what I'm saying? Just give me my check. Let me go home to my peoples. You feel me?
I like people to know who I am. I'm kind of like a big deal. My
hey,
nigga.
listen.
But you know, like spoken, I'm just gonna say it like this: with what you do and what we do with the Best Friend Weekend brand, it's a team. It's a team behind the brand. Mm-hmm. It's always a team. I'm not always out there shouting out, man, this is what Rumble do, this is what the Uncle do, this is what Raj or Los do. It's not always, but it's always kind of a collective of ideas. So I know that happens in different industries. So it's cool to see, you know what I'm saying, that you got your team together, and it's cool. But let me take a step back, because we're talking about that, and I definitely gonna come back to the projects that you got up in the works. We're gonna talk about a couple of things. But not too many. Like I was talking to somebody recently, and they said, man, you're starting to do these Nothin Nice to Say interviews. And I did the one with the Black Coffee Company a couple of weeks ago. And they were like, you keep going, like, who are you going to interview? And I was like, I want to interview influential people who are doing good things, people who have interesting stories to tell. And I was like, what's funny is that it comes back to a lot of these people went to school with me. And it's weird because I think in the Black community, it's like, that's a melting pot of intellectuals and people who are going somewhere. So why wouldn't my collective of people that I call upon be a lot of people that I went to school with? It's not going to all be people I went to school with, but a lot of people are, because I think that it was such a diverse group of people from different places that I was able to get different cultures. Bruh, I wouldn't have known nothing about go-go music if it wasn't for you. So, I know, obviously I know Dominic from college, and I realized recently, that was like 17 years ago that we were in college. And but I think we hung out once you came to Houston for All-Star once, right?
Once.
That might have been the last time we really hung out like that. But yeah, Xavier guy with me, we started our freshman year. My question is, and I mean, I know we hopping right into it. You only went to Xavier for 2 semesters or 1 semester? Was you there
for freshman year, the whole freshman year? Yeah.
Freshman year, man. What made you leave school, man? What were some of the factors that made you not be back at Xavier?
Man, I mean, it was a twofold decision. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest one was, you probably remember, I grew up a Hebrew Israelite, so it was kind of it's a community, you know what I'm saying? So, sort of similar to the Nation of Islam type of spiel. You got hierarchies of leadership and everything. And when I came back home, first of all, I wasn't even supposed to go to college. Me growing up in that community, fresh out of high school, they was trying to send me to Africa. For what? With no real plan. They was just trying to ship me to Africa. And I had already applied to and got accepted to a bunch of colleges on my own.
You going to Africa and you stop fucking with weed? Okay, no, go ahead.
Yo, here you go. So, like, literally, bruh, one day, man, I had my jobs and all that. I packed up my bags and just left home. Like, didn't tell my mom I was leaving. I didn't tell nobody I was leaving. I packed up my bag, got in the cab, went to the airport, and fucking flew to the NO. And I didn't talk to my mother for a week. She ain't know. Nobody knew where I was at, bro. I just left. Because I was like, man, I always wanted to go to college. I wanted to go to law school. I knew what I wanted to do in my life, but I had these people around me telling me what I needed to do in my life. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And so with that, they was going to ship me to Africa just with no real plan, and life goals or nothing. So that's how I ended up in the NO. But when I got down there, I, of course, got my financial aid and stuff like that, but it wasn't much or nothing, you know what I'm saying? It was enough to get me through the semester. I mean, through the full year, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I come back home, trying to get back acclimated with my family, but of course, the community got a lot of power and influence over my family. So I wasn't even allowed to see my brothers and sisters, like when I came home for Christmas break, even when I came home for the summer, I wasn't able to see them for a while. So it's kind of like a negotiation spell where in order for me to see my family, I got to now, and I'm going to go back to college, I got to study what they tell me to study. So I was studying political science at Xavier, you know what I'm saying? And then when I came back home, I transferred to Howard, and then that got changed to civil engineering. Again, because they looking at, oh, we want you to go study civil engineering because we're going to send you to Africa to build some cities and stuff like that. So, all right, cool. I'm going to rock with it. You know what I'm saying? If this was it's going to take to see my family. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. My life is crazy to a certain extent. It's a lot of stuff that, you know what I'm saying, you just don't know. But nevertheless, I ended up studying that at Howard. And that was the biggest reason why I didn't come back to Xavier. That was the main reason. That what I just broke down to you.
I thought that you didn't come back to Xavier because you were scared of that ass whipping that Big Q was going to give you for stealing his calling card.
Hey, listen.
You know what's funny? It's a sign of the times of how old we are that boys had beef for a while over a calling card, man.
But no, you know what? It was like I always say, man, that shit was well deserved. But this is me listening, like this is me break it down to you guys. Listen to what I just said to you. I came to Xavier with nothing, bruh. Yeah, so right. I had no money for a fucking calling card. So you're right. My man Q, shout out to my man Q. He let me use his calling card one day to call my people. I was calling my brothers. And I memorized his fucking calling card number. And I was using that joint, yeah. And I know that nigga saw me on the phone one day. He ran upstairs to try to use his shit. Then he came back downstairs. He was like, yo, you get off my calling card. I was like, yo, I ain't on your calling card. I knew I was on this shit, yeah. But so I apologized to him back then, Houston situation, bro. But I mean, I was a hustling type nigga. Like I was a do whatever I gotta do by any means type nigga.
No.
But you fuck over some people in the long run.
I was with you in Wiener still in Jordan. So
that's my number one stuff. Hey, listen, that's my shit. Like that's my claim to fame right there. I walked out of Big Lots with a pair of J's in my sweats, yo. Hey, listen, them joints lasted me a couple years, bro. But
no, I mean, I'm laughing because it's a lot of things, man. Those kids out there who might be listening to this at a younger age is like, what the hell is a calling card? So before everybody had a cell phone, it was right at that moment when cell phones were about to be that everyone had a cell phone. We had calling cards, man, and it was a number. You would type that in, you'd pay for it, and it was prepaid minutes, and you would be on a regular landline, and you could call long distance. And so Q was in Houston, so he was calling back home, and I guess he let you use that call. He let the wrong nigga use his calling card.
Hey, listen, man. If my man Q ever needs some minutes, I got you, bro. We up now.
Hey, hold up. Q might not need no minutes, but you might need to get Q on that. You know, Q graduated in communications from Texas Southern, and he was shooting videos and stuff when he was a senior in college, man. That's what he used to do. He used to shoot wedding videos and everything, man. So what you should be doing is letting that boy be a loyal brother. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen, this is always a seat at the table for
there
my man
Q, man.
That's
what I hear. Okay, so let me ask you this. So when you left there, did you finish at Howard, or did you start because you said 04 is when you started really kind of getting in the loyal brothers thing, right? Yeah,
so I finished, and actually I ended up, still I went into the construction industry. I'm actually still in it, but what I was doing was I was working on construction sites, man, in the dirty ass trailers, and bruh, I mean, it's good money, bruh. You look going through these blueprints and plans and stuff, but construction sites ain't for me, man. You wearing boots all fucking day, you dirty ass niggas coming in and out the trailer all day, bruh. It wasn't even for me. So yeah, I mean, and I still use it to this day, and that's something we could get into a little bit later because I have another business that I make, you know what I'm saying, I make money on the side that I learned about being in the construction industry. But nevertheless, yeah, I use it. But again, like I just broke, I studied civil engineering because somebody else told me to. That wasn't even where my heart was at. So it's like you doing something you don't even like. You studying something you don't even hate. And this is a lesson that I give everybody now. You know what I'm saying? Follow your heart. Follow your passion. Study and do what you want to do. Don't do some shit because your parents told you to do some shit and somebody else told you should do this to do that, bro. It's your life. But, and in 2004, when I started this, I realized this was my true passion, bro. And I done stuck with it ever since. It took me all over the U.S., fully paid trips and all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
So I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people with money. So okay, just an aside. So when you put in your budget for a video budget, that's part of the budget too. Your travel to the on-site location. Okay,
that covers the flights, the Airbnb or hotel.
Because I remember you were hitting me up recently, like you had wanted to do a video. It might not be really recently, it might be 2 years ago. You were trying to do a video in the Houston area, and you were looking for cars out here, rental cars or whatever. If I kind of knew the game and what you was kind of up to, I think I would have put a little bit better effort into it next time I got you.
Nah, man. I mean, that nigga never came through with the budget, so that's why it happened.
That's why you never hollered at me.
Yeah, you better come through with the budget, man. But nevertheless, man.
It might have been an indie artist.
Hey, listen. No, we did a joint with him before, though. He put up 10 bands for a video we did in Miami. So, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like, but shit, the well runs dry sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, it pays for all your room, board, all expenses, you know what I'm saying, on top of the budget, plus your food and all that. And you still get your check at the end of the day on top of that,
So what I'm thinking is, when a lot of people that we know, like a lot of guys that I know, a lot of people they got businesses. Everybody's got a business. Everybody's like, man, I'm starting this business. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You said 04, and I know that it might not be the business that it is today. It wasn't that in 04. And you were talking a little bit about how you had an opportunity to work with a lot of artists, and we're going to talk about that later. You said 2 Chainz was an example earlier. Do you... And riding around, I'm getting it was at least, I don't know what, at least 8 years ago or so.
So 2012, I think. 2012.
Okay, so 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you've been doing your business for a long time. Do you feel like you got a big head start? Not necessarily head start, but do you feel like you're more accomplished and kind of like your roots are down to where your business is already its thing? Or do you feel like it's really still growing and progressing and evolving?
It's absolutely still growing and progressing and evolving. And why I say that is because, them first 4, 5, 6 videos I did, bro, I ain't get paid. I did a lot of stuff for free, but it built my resume up to where now, like, I got to get paid before I even pick up a pen and a pad. Like, absolutely. You drop a deposit now. Like, you see my resume, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm still growing because all the funds now I make in this video game, I use that to fund my series. And so videos wasn't even in my foresight I really want to be out of the video game. I'm getting into the film game, but I'm using that to fund everything else. So I'm definitely still growing, and I ain't nowhere near where I'm going.
Were you self-taught with how to do the video?
Well, I'm 100% self-taught, bro. I never went to school, never took any courses, college courses, nothing. I picked up scripts, downloaded scripts, PDFs, read them. You know what I'm saying? I got hands on other people's treatments. I'm all 100% self-taught in this film industry.
So do you have any kind of inspirations, like other, and I'm just kind of talking about thinking about your treatments. Do you have any other people who you look at and say, I love the way they do things? Do you have any people like that?
I mean, from a writing standpoint, it's so many people that write. I can't say I have major inspirations from people that write because I feel like a lot of my storylines are original.
Yeah.
I don't look at, I like what they wrote, I'm gonna do something like that. Now, from a producer side of the game, Will Packer is my number one inspiration. Gotcha. Like, my man came in the game and he crushed it. You know what I'm saying? The difference between me and Will Packer is I write, he don't. So he produced movies and scripts and everything. He find them, but I'm writing everything I want to produce. And I'm writing everything I'm going to produce. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, my vault is full. So but he is definitely who I model myself after from a producer standpoint.
I think that there's an interesting juxtaposition here. And I think about this before. I don't know if you recall, because like you said, you were only we went to school together for only a year. So you don't necessarily know probably how I progressed in that way to where I was like the go-to rapper university, man. I had bars. Trust me, I probably still got them somewhere. But my thought was, there's always kind of like the two lanes of you could be the producer or you could be the artist. Right. And I think that had I known then what I know now, I definitely would have probably went the direction of being on the other side, if not producing my own tracks or whatever. Something in that thing, because I feel like this. I feel like the artists are always the ones who are responsible for coming up with the bag to do their art, and the producers, the people who make the music, the people who make the videos, the people who write the treatments, are the ones who get paid off of hip hop. I feel like you're in the position to get paid off of hip hop, where the artist is never in the position to get paid unless they're that 1 in 1,000 who's actually making some money.
Man, I think it depends on your team. Like, going back to your team around you, bruh. As an artist, you gotta have that team around you that got your best interests at heart. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, if you don't have that team around you that's going to have your best interests at heart, then you have to have your own best interests at heart. The key point of me stepping up to being a producer was never even part of the plan. I'm like, I'm just going to write these movies. I'm going to get them out. But I'm in DC. I'm all the way on the other side of the country from LA, where everything is really popping, or Atlanta. So damn, if I want to get my scripts out here, I got to put this producer hat on and produce my scripts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm going to move to, you know what I'm saying, LA or somewhere else. And even if you move there, you still got to struggle and fight with 1,000 other niggas trying to do the same thing you doing.
You actually should move to Africa and build some communities.
Hey, listen, you go with that gang.
Shoot some Nigerian videos, man, with WizKid.
Hey, listen, Nollywood is the number one film industry right now. They crushing the game.
Maybe you people was on to something.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to get that Akon connect. You know what I'm saying? Put me onto that light
game. Bring you some clean water when you go. But I get your point. A term that I see you also bring up that you throw around a lot is conscious thinkers. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's being a conscious thinker is that, you know, again, going back to I don't knock my roots 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in a very spiritual household, Bible every day, like on the 7th day, which is Saturday, the Sabbath. Like, we couldn't eat, no TV. We was fasting every Saturday my whole life growing up, bruh. Like, no TV, none of that. We did Yom Kippur fasting. I grew up a vegan at home, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a whole different way of being raised for me. But that was at home. When I stepped outside them doors, now I'm going to school with a bunch of niggas. And so you going to school with a bunch of niggas, now you getting some street education, you know what I'm saying? But I'm able to combine the two. But being a conscious thinker, you know what I'm saying, for me, is really about being, you know, awoke. But a lot of people use woke a lot now, you know what I'm saying? And it gets thrown around.
It has them hotep connotations.
And I can't rock with that. I mean, some of that is just really about taking responsibility for yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then we try to hold other people accountable for themselves without holding ourselves accountable. But you know what I'm saying? Being a conscious thinker is really about just being fully aware of what's going on, not only within your circle, but then the world itself. You feel what I'm saying? That whether you're a part of it or you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. So, man, like let's kind of start talking about some of your projects that you got going, because I've been kind of beating around the bush with that, but I definitely want to make sure that we get into that, man. So the first things, I mean, you said your biggest thing where you want to go toward is the film production and different things like that. But let's start with the things that got you in the door, and that's those music videos. I saw some stuff you got with Flo Rida, 2 Chainz, we talked about, Rich Homie. Even though that little chick, I said the little chick in the Rich Homie video. I like the idea that she was trying to start her little hair shop. Yeah, when she was trying to strip at the same time. But she needed some more hams going on in the back, and she gonna be in that strip club.
Listen, that was she was like one of them last minute cast and spills. Like, hey, listen. Sometimes these models act Hollywood and you ain't Hollywood. Like, why you act, you know what I'm saying? But
you had to run it in the National Mall or something, and I was like, I'm not paying too much for her to dance.
Hey, but listen, somehow, some way she getting it in real life, but now I ain't talking about her business. But anyway, I mean, I'm gonna just say, not? But YG, Tiger, Juicy J, you said you got some stuff coming on. Tell me stuff about some of your projects with Man, these are just dope opportunities to get these projects, bruh, and have my name associated with some hits, like we just said. You know what I'm saying? Up until Flow Rider, my biggest jump was 2 Chainz. He was popping, you know what I'm saying, out the gate. That was his #1 single. That's
I feel like they got levels.
Jump.
Like 2 Chainz, I'm riding around, I'm getting it. Once again, huge video.
Yes. Tiger Lap Dance was my second joint right behind it.
But
like,
my point I'm making is Flow Rider feels like that's even on a whole different level. That's like on Pitbull level.
I'm gonna break down how big of a difference of a level it was. 3 weeks ago, he come into DC, you know what I'm saying? He got a show here. So he not here to shoot. He got a show for this event called Fight Night. I've been to DC my whole life, never fucking heard of Fight Night. It's a charitable event of rich motherfuckers, bro.
Okay.
So, of course, I've been rocking with Flow for the last 5 years, so we go to the show, you know what I'm saying? But the event, black tie suit event, it was 80 billionaires in the room and 300 millionaires. And people I don't fucking know who is who.
You.
And me. And me. But that's one, it's a testimony of how much hard work has taken me from ground zero to a room full of billionaires and millionaires. But then 2 is just like, also, I don't know these faces, so damn, I really need to still level up and pick my game up even further.
Yeah.
I think the only face that was recognizable in there was the owner of the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, that's a whole nother level of what Flow does. Flow doesn't tap into the black audience. He taps into the white audience. So when he's doing shows, I would
say the multicultural audience. You know?
I mean, it's multicultural, but at the end of the day, every show I've went to has not been multicultural, bro. It's been niggas with them checks. And I'm talking about real checks. And so, it's definitely a whole nother tax bracket, and it opens my eyes up to a whole nother, you know what I'm saying, level of wealth.
I think that's awesome that you have an opportunity to develop those relationships with people who can put you in those positions. Right. And that's just coming off of being able to do, like you said, by being able to write some things for the videos. Are you getting the credit as the executive producer of any of these videos? Are you the writer, or is it like just kind of a mix of some of a little bit of both?
Well, I get my credits of both producer and writer. Okay. And so basically 9 times out of 10, the executive producer, for the most part, is always the person who puts up the money. You know what I'm saying? That's the executive producer. But nevertheless, sometimes there are a few executive producers here and there who don't put up money, but they still get the credit. But at the end of the day, I'm getting my producer credit and my writing credit. So my resume is nice when it comes to that.
It's definitely nice. And look, what's your website? Say it right quick.
LoyalBrosCo.com.
Okay, so if y'all go to loyalbrothersco.com, you can look at a bunch of different videos. They have some behind the scenes stuff, and you can see some of the different work that that's been done by the Loyal Bros. Man, it's crazy. Like I was taken aback when I looked at it. I was like, wow, I didn't even know Dominic was doing all of this. Like, I knew you were doing it on A level. I didn't know you were doing it on that level. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I'm still pissed that you didn't shoot any exposure videos when I was rapping and none of the Best Friend Weekend phased, you know what I'm saying, dance video. We're going to have to get you on something.
Hey, listen.
If the bag right, he'll do that.
Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? We can make something happen on the love, you know what I'm saying? But nah, bro, you know, it's all about, too, just being humble, man. Yeah. Like I said, I don't like to even be in front of the camera. So when I'm behind the camera, I'm a humble dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to do my job and, you know what I'm saying, make sure you good and get home. You know what I mean?
No,
like, if we be able to build, you see, you know, you like my work ethic or whatever, then let's rock out. And if not, then great too. You know what I'm saying? But I've been able to do about 4 or 5 videos for Flow in the last 4 years. And then my house was my biggest joint because that joint ended up being the official.
Hold up, you did my house?
Yes. Yes, wrote, produced, on set, Miami. Like, that's my biggest joint to date.
I was clicking through. I don't know if I might not have seen that one. I might have passed it over.
Man, go look, bro. But that's the joint. That was actually my first video I did for Flow. That was my very first joint, yeah. And so
it's okay to ask me to just kind of come to the city that weekend. I'll get my own room. I just want to be around.
Hey, listen, bro. Like, that was my first joint, and ever since, you know, we built the relationship, and really that relationship comes through Alex. Yeah.
Which Alex?
Alex Acosta.
Okay.
So, Alex Nazari has moved on to other things, commercials and shit. So, you know, but we still tight. But, you know, Alex Acosta is my #1 man right now. But he's Flo, official videographer. He travels all over the globe.
Because he got nice hair.
Yo, hey, light-skinned niggas winning.
Light-skinned niggas do be winning, huh?
Shout out to my man Jasper, though. You know what I'm saying?
Holla at your mans.
Here you go, yeah.
Nah, Jasper cool, man.
But, yeah, bro, like, that's definitely a whole nother level of things, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, now I'm crossing over into
let's get to
my new series.
Let's talk a little bit about your series. So it's called Raw Dog King. I got an interesting story about that real quick. Just real funny. Because I said, is it what it sounds like? Because, okay, so I got a story. I'm going to keep it real concise. When we were in college, we went to a party once, and it was a bunch of guys, and then we went to a strip club, and then we got some strippers to come back to an apartment. I mean, not apartment, a hotel room, and they were stripping for us, doing a private strip party, whatever. And one of the guys, he ended up, you know, some stuff. We was young. He went in the room with one of the strippers. And then all of a sudden she walks out like, no. And he was like, we was like, whoa, what happened? She was like, he didn't took the condom off. He was like, I'm the Raw Dog King.
Hey, listen.
So when I heard the name of your stuff was the Raw Dog King, I was like, what is he doing right now? Like,
hey, listen. Raw Dog King is a double entendre. And and the first one is what you just said. That's where it started out from. But, you know, it actually comes from a twofold spill, man. When I came back home from Xavier and I was working I was going to Howard. I worked at the CVS right across the street from Howard. It's like down the street from Howard. But it's enough, the CVS, so all the chicks that live on campus go to this
was
CVS.
All filling their scripts over there?
Yo, hey, listen. You go, hey, I ain't saying no names, but youngest came in and got it. But no, all the chicks would come through the CVS. Yeah. So that was like bag central, bro. You running up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, dude that worked in there, he got everything. Yeah. He got everything. And that's where I first got the concept of Raw Dog King. Like, damn, he bags everything. Yeah. I actually grew up with him. He was like 4 years older than me, bro. And so, I would come over his house, man. It'd be like 3 condoms in the trash. He done smashed 3 different chicks in one day, separate times. I'm like, damn, you the Raw Dog King.
He didn't raw dog though.
I mean, nah, he didn't raw dog.
In the trash can, he didn't raw dog.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm glad he didn't.
Because the bug is real in DC, huh?
Hey, listen. I want to see my man survive to see tomorrow, but at the end of the day,
well, we genetically modifying babies right now anyway, so they're gonna be resistant. Don't worry about it.
Hey, listen. At the end of the day, I tried to I came up with the concept because it's about a dude on a mission to sleep with 1,000 women before he gets married. Okay. And the rawness of it is that he's telling them the truth when he meets him. Look, you know, we're going to be talking for about 2 or 3 weeks max. In that time period, you know, we're going to travel, we're going to go shopping, we're going to eat, we're going to dine. But after 2 or 3 weeks, that's it. We're not talking no more. That's the rawness of it. It's about telling the truth up front. Because a lot of niggas, a lot of women, when they meet them, they make up stories and they try to finesse and floss and they tell lies. You know, tell the fucking truth, bro. A lot of women love the truth more than a lie. And if you tell the truth 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to win at the end. So that's where the rawness comes from.
I got you.
And then and his name is King. His name is King. His name is King. And the dog comes because some women are not gonna like the idea of this nigga doing this. He's a dog. Yeah. And then his name is King in the show. But one of the other reasons why I came up with this show is because in our society, bruh, it's this thing where we supposed to get married. That's the only way you could be successful and happy in life. You got to be committed to just one woman. And you got to be, you know what I'm saying, faithful. But at the end of the day, if a man doesn't want to get married, he don't have to get married. And he don't have to be a dog because he didn't get married. He's not obligated to be committed to one woman. Yeah. He's not, as long as he's not lying. Just don't lie about that shit. And that's what the whole concept for me is about when it comes down to raw.
I love monogamy, so I'm not that guy. But so the thing is, a couple of little feedback that I want to give you, because you did let me watch the pilot of like it's not out, you can't find it nowhere online. I got it. Right. You know what I'm saying? I got the plug. I know the producer, so you can't see it, but I seen it. First thing, if you let anybody else look at the pilot, also write NSFW, because I opened it up at the job and the scene start off with a little chick bent over the stairs, getting that label. And
Yo, my
I'm gonna need
bad.
you to
I
do
guess
better.
I should have told you, bro. My bad, bro.
Let me give you some other holes that I saw in your pilot. So you go since
ahead.
it's still a pilot, I'm gonna give you all the holes I saw that you need to go back and fix. All
Go
right.
ahead, go
First
ahead,
thing,
yeah.
you call it Raw Dog King. He don't be raw dogging, but you just addressed that, so I'm cool
Hey,
with it.
listen.
Oh,
All
no,
right, go
no.
ahead.
Okay, next. I love the music selection. You had some Common songs. You had some Miguel. I like how it was going. It was cool. So he's trying to find the true meaning of relationships by smashing a bunch of women. So my thing is, it's kind of like, he keeps saying stuff like, I'm going to hit these 1,000 women and it's going to really let me know like the true meaning of relationships, but I don't want to be with a woman, but I'm trying to find the true meaning of being with a woman. So he sound confused a little bit.
Well, let me run it back though. See, this is where you know it's a Raw Dog book, right?
No, I didn't.
It's an actual memoir that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? And that's written as well. So basically, in the memoir, he was in a relationship for 7 years.
Okay.
And they broke up suddenly, you know what I'm saying? I don't really give a reason because the reason isn't needed. The whole purpose of it is that he feels like he wasted 7 prime years of his life in a committed relationship when he could have been out here living life and exploring the world. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes it can be like that when you've been in a long ass relationship, 7, 10, 15, 20 years. And you be like, damn, you gotta get back out here, start all over again, start the search all over again. Damn, if you was never committed in the first place, you could have just been living. You feel me?
It feels like like the apropos song is Lil Wayne. I wish I could fuck every girl in the world. It feels like he had a lot of that vibe going on. So some other things. Now this is since I'm mathematical, I'm semantic about this. The pilot starts off with he had hit 82 women. And I was like, is it because 82? Is that a significant thing? But that was the next thing I thought was he says that that's 82 out of 1,000. But he said I hit 82 women this year. And he was like, this is 82 on my way to 1,000. Right. So my question is, was he a virgin before the 82? Obviously not. So it would be, he's trying to hit 1,000 new women. Okay, so that's
1,000 new women.
Yeah,
that's 1,000 new. And so basically, when you get to read the memoir, it's going to be a lot. But you think of how the hell did Wilt Chamberlain smash 10,000? Is that
he was in that league?
But exactly, he was in the league. So it's a possible. Possible.
No, I'm not disputing the fact that somebody could get 1,000. My issue just becomes that regular people, I feel like that becomes a monumental task. But you do have a big, he kind of looked like Chiron from Moonlight, man. Don't he? He kind of got that feel to that look to him, man. Yeah. So I mean, women, he looked like a type of dude women are like. So I was just looking at the math there. Another thing, the coffee pot he was using, step your game up, get a Keurig. The next thing, hey, these are helpful suggestions right here.
Go ahead.
When he was hooping with his homeboys, homeboys was hooping with some silver foam posits on. What type of nigga hoop with some foams on? Like, the things cost $220, man.
Listen,
that's what y'all do in DC? Y'all all rainful emblems?
We was on phones before the rest of the country, Slim.
No, nigga, you was stealing calling cards. We just talked about this, brother.
But that's me, young. That's me. But I'm not going to shit on my city, though. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, I had my flights when I came to DC. When I came to Xavier. I had my black flights, you know what I mean? But niggas still gotta get his, you know what I mean? But,
and there was one more thing. On the clock in the apartment when they were talking, they told him that they woke up real early, but the clock in the background said 2:30 p.m.
Say, nigga, why you looking at the clock? You supposed to be looking at the characters. Like, you looking at the wrong things right now.
Because that's what I do. I'm nitpicking. So what I'm doing right now, Dominic, is I'm auditioning for a job as like a quality control person to be able to look at little things
before you get hired. Yo,
I love it. But you know what I noticed? When they came back from hooping, the clock was accurate. And I was like, that feels like the right time of the day for them to be finished hooping. There's little things I pick up on when I'm watching stuff. But like I said, I was giving you the little side talk. But visually it was great, my G. Like, visually it's great. Like, I like the way things look. I like kind of the camera shots. some of the camera shots are extreme. It does have a music video feel to some parts of it.
But that's my point. That was actually done on purpose, and I wanted to bring over our video production experience into the film world, because I feel like people don't do that. So I feel like it would make our show stand out, especially in those sex scenes that you saw. You know what I'm saying? That was a major component of my production side of things for this show. And because like I said, I feel like people don't really do that, and so it would make the show stand out a lot more, especially for the world star audience. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that's used to just watching videos. But
so I mean, and you know what's funny? You know who I think of automatically when I think of that is Hype Williams, like what he did with Belly. How he made that transition from making those music videos to now I'm gonna shoot these shoot a movie, and it had in Belly. Everyone talks about it. We actually did a Blackbuster video podcast on Belly. And we talked about what our favorite scene from that movie was. And it was obviously the beginning scene when they came in and they shot it up, because it had that cinematographic feel, the white, the contacts that they had on, all of that. It was just dope. And I feel like, so the scenes that kind of stand out in the Raw Dog thing are those sex scenes, because it has that cinematography, like, you know, it's, you pull some different things and it's like, oh shit, like it visually is even more stunning than the regular stuff. But like I said, I think you're going somewhere with that, and it's really cool. I want to see how that progresses. Do you have any kind of thoughts for when the memoirs and the series may be hitting the web?
Well, the memoir is going to probably hit the web definitely before everything, the show itself, because we're in talks with a couple of distributors right now, the Netflixes, the BETs, the Titles, and the main reason why I'm pursuing Tidal more than all of them, because I want to try to get a music distribution situation with the show simultaneously. Music plays a big part in all of my writing. I create a playlist for every script I write. Yeah. And because I want to be in that mind frame of whatever I'm writing when I'm writing it. If it's an R&B love joint, then that's what I'm writing to. You know what I'm saying? If it's a gangster shit, then that's what I'm writing to. So like right now I'm writing this comedy called Stop Snitching. And it's about two niggas who make a living collecting reward money, snitching on niggas in the hood. And so
I like that concept.
Yo, so it's like I flipped the whole idea, like niggas ain't supposed to snitch. And they like, yo, we gonna get this fucking money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm writing to. So like I got a lot of Pusha T on that playlist, you know what I'm saying? Sorry nigga, I'm trying to come home. But you know what I'm saying? I like, you know what I'm saying? Like music plays a heavy part, and I sent you a couple songs about this artist I'm working with.
And that's what I was about to get with. I was about to talk a little bit about G-Town Wayne, and I'm assuming that's something to do with Georgetown, because his name is like At Hoya or something, right?
My man, yep, that is him.
So I was I looked at it. He got a mixtape coming out, Worthwhile, right? I listened to Rate Talk, Swinging, The Exit. As a former rapper, I'm like, man, I like how he coming. I like his his flow. It goes. He got something with him.
Yeah, he a different little dude, not little dude, but you know what I'm saying? But he's like a little brother to me, you know what I mean? Actually, the very first video I ever directed was for one of his videos back in 2011. I put the little director's hat on, was like, let me try it. It came out pretty great. I'm actually sending you that joint. Okay. But, so last year we did, my Alex and myself, we did what was called Media Spa Day, where niggas who normally can't afford us, we let them come in and get a real quick 2-3 take video shot for $1,200. And we shot 25 videos in one day.
For how much?
And, $1,200.
$1,200? Okay.
Yeah. We shot 25 videos in one day, and like all of us chose one artist we wanted to shoot for free.
That's pretty dope.
And I chose Wayne. Okay. And so that you saw the exit video, that was the video that we shot. He sent me about 6-7 songs, and I was like, yo, I want to do this one. And so we shot it. Then after that, you know, he hit me up like 2-3 weeks later. He was like, yo, I see the movement Louis Brothers is making on the film side of things. Would you be interested in managing me? And so
smart man.
But you know, when you see work ethic, you know what I'm saying, you want to be a part of that work ethic. And Absolutely. So I was like, yeah, well, I'm definitely down and I'm with it. You know, but right now, all my money is really tied up in this Raw Dog thing because I'm fully invested. And I said, but we could make something work. You know, let's talk about it. So we had a couple meetings. We sat down, came up with a strategy. And we was like, well, since Louis Bros Films has already made a name for itself, let's just create a sister company, Louis Bros Music Group.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And they could run hand in hand. So we've been in the studio since January, man, knocking out tracks. And so now we just finished an 8-track album. You know what I'm saying? We 2 videos in. We get ready to shoot 2 more. One out in LA, one in New York. Dates is set. So right now we just finishing up the whole release date plan and about to roll it out. But
I honestly think, and I had a young artist out here in Houston that I was talking to recently, and he, the concept that we're such a visual medium right now, I'm going to have to do more things with the podcast that are more visual, but with rappers, I would say make a video for all 8 songs. I mean, he's got the infrastructure. It should be like Lemonade. You know what I mean? Everything he should do should have a visual component.
Well, you already know that's the plan. You know what I'm saying? Especially since that's where Louis Bros Films is at. So why not just slide them in and make it happen? I mean, it's a full, complete in-house situation. And so going back to what we was talking about earlier from artists not having the right team around them and not getting paid, you know, we have a joint venture 50-50 partnership deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'm not here to rape nobody.
You ain't got a 360 on it?
Nah. One thing about Louis Bros is I'm about, you know what I'm saying, doing right by others. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want to do right by people the same way I want to be done right by myself. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not here to rape nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't want that karma to fall back on me. And as the older you get, you know what I'm saying? The smarter you get and the more things you go through, you know what I'm saying? You become wiser. And so I know as a man, I wouldn't want nobody to get over on me in this film industry. So why would I try to get over on my man Wayne in the music industry? You feel me? So
once again, I say he a smart man.
Yeah. So we done create and built a good relationship, man, that took some time to grow, you know what I'm saying? Cause he used to work in a certain kind of way. I'm used to working in a certain kind of way. I pay attention to detail. Part of just being in the film industry, being in the construction industry, you know what I'm saying? I pay attention to detail. I like to work on a schedule. I don't like to be just making, sporadic decisions, you know what I mean? So, we had to learn to work together and coexist, but it's been growing organically and we doing our thing.
Okay, so that's a good deal, man. And like I said, when I initially said let's do an interview, what I said, I need about half an hour, 40 minutes of your time. We already pushing up on an hour because I mean, I think it's interesting to talk that people are your story is a little bit more interesting than I even thought it would be. So I'm happy we had an opportunity to sit here. There's one other thing that I definitely want to touch on before we get out of here. And you know, the aforementioned when I did the Black Coffee interview, we talked about the backpack clique and how we were all partners in school in that way. And you were a part of that group, and you had floated the idea of doing a backpack cartoon in the past. Did that ever get done, or what's the status on that?
Man, shoot, it's still in the vault, bro. Fully written treatment for the whole concept, man. I've written characters for every single one of you guys, you know what I mean?
And it's funny because it's like your interpretation of who we were in college. And I think that's going to be a funny thing to revisit for even just for us. Like, bro, to say, hey.
Like, it's a verb, man, from the niggas that came from a little bit of money, from the niggas who had a little bit more than everybody else, to the niggas who thought they was a shit, to the athletic nigga in Q. You know what I'm saying? Like, I touch on all of those things because I felt like, you know what I'm saying, in a way, I felt like everybody had a little bit of a leg up than I did coming into Xavier, you know what I'm saying? And that's not to knock nobody or nothing, but, I mean, it was a good thing. I learned something from everybody. But that was the best part about college for me. Wasn't even about the education. It was about social networking. You know what I'm saying? Developing social skills. That's the biggest thing I walked away with from college. And the crazy part is I enjoyed going to Xavier more than I enjoyed going to Howard. Probably. And I mainly chalk this up too because I didn't hang out on campus at Howard. I went to class and I left because I had full-time jobs going to Howard. You know what I'm saying? And once I left CBS, I was working at the airport. You know what I'm saying? Doing the security and shit.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I was working at Ronald Reagan DC National Airport on 9/11. Like when the plane crashed right next door at the Pentagon, I was at the airport that morning. You know what I'm saying? Working. Like, it's so many stories I got, but nevertheless, I didn't And then, of course, you back home, you rocking with your niggas from home. You ain't rocking with nobody at school.
Yeah.
So Xavier is for me was my best year of college because I got to meet people from all over the globe, you know, U.S. or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And some people I rock with still to this day. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, like I said, man, like we talked about a couple of things, and you said you had an opportunity to listen to that podcast. I think it's cool that we don't rock all the time, but we can pick it up and rock like we do whenever. You know what I mean? And I think that there's something to be said for being able to be like, hey, man, if I need to holler at my boy Dominic and we want to get some stuff moving, I think that door is always going to be open, and hopefully you know that two-way street's always going to be open.
Right.
So, man, like I said, man, look, we had an hour with people like, man, I've been sitting in my car outside of work trying to finish this up, you know what I mean, or whatever it is, trying to finish this podcast. So we're going to let them get out of here. Before we go, let people know how to contact you, where to find you, where that one person can follow you so you can have 1,000 followers. Let us know some stuff, man.
Hey, listen. Instagram, Twitter, Loyal Bros Films. That's LOYALBROS FILLMS. Website, loyalbrosco.com. That's Loyal Brothers Company, but it's LOYALBROSCO.com. Then the email is president@loyalbrosco.com. Everything legit. So send me an email, follow me, send me some messages. Got any questions? Want to further some dialogue? Feel free to hit me anytime.
And if you're a rapper out there, or you got your foot, I got a dude out here, Uncle Herb. I might have to put you with Uncle Herb because he got a little series he working on out here too. But yeah, like I said, man, it's been a pleasure having you, man. And this won't be the last time, man. We'll get you back on again.
Appreciate you having me, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, for sure.
All right, bro.
I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing nice to say. I ain't got nothing nice to say at all. I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing nice to say. I ain't got nothing nice to say at all.
So I won't say nothing at all.